This novel idea is this picture. Link in the underbar. Marigold sat in her study, surrounded by books, but she wasn't reading. She held her head in her hands and gazed sightlessly at her desk, her eyelids drooping and her chest aching. The door squeaked behind her. Marigold jumped to her feet, whirling around, sparks tingling at her fingertips. Nem's big brown eyes gazed up at her. Pressing her hand over her racing heart, Marigold managed to laugh. "What are you doing here?" she asked her little brother. "You're supposed to be asleep." "I couldn't sleep." Nem picked up one of the books off the shelf, staring at it like he expected it to do a trick any moment. He looked back at Marigold. "I want to see some magic." Marigold sighed. "You know, for someone who's grown up in a house full of magic, you're easily impressed." Nem climbed up onto her lap. "My friends say magic isn't real." He furrowed his brow at her. "How come they think that?" "Because it's safer that way," Marigold told him. "You shouldn't talk about magic with your friends." "But magic's the best thing ever! Show me some?" Marigold sighed again, but with a smile. It was nice to have someone appreciate her power, even if it was just her little brother. "All right," she said. She opened up one of the books and trailed her fingers over the text. She murmured a spell, and a great, ghostly ship rose from the pages. It rocked and bucked as though in a great storm, its ghostly sails billowing. It set off around the room, and Nem watched it with a wide smile, clapping his hands. Marigold held her brother close. She wished with all her heart that everyone saw magic the way he did. "When I grow up, I'm going to be a witch, just like you," Nem said. Closing her eyes, Marigold thought of the shrill words shrieked to her on the streets. Devil worshipper! Demon! And worst of all, her own title, in which she took such pride, repeated in tones of scorn, fear, and disgust. Witch! She thought of the rotten fruit, the buckets full of water, and the stones that were thrown at her. Once she'd even been tied up and thrown in the lake, surviving only through a series of complicated spells. And she thought of her parents, taken away when Nem was just a baby. She looked down at Nem and saw the way his eyes sparkled as he watched the ship sail around the room, reaching out to touch it as it passed and giggling at the way it tingled as it went through his hand. "Yes," she murmured, "you'll be a great witch." She felt as though she were casting on him her cruelest curse. Thanks for watching, and happy writing!